Mr. Deity, Mr. Deity, Mr. Deity.
Knock my stuff over, please. What's up?
Gina, this is space. Gina, this is space. This mannequin thing is space. Na, Gina.
Peace, fam. Yo, this is Giami Journey. And I want to welcome you. Welcome you. This is
Giami Journey Media.
Hold on. First, it is the home of the stubborn minority.
What?
Second, it's the congregation of the mighty. Third, doing too much. Real life here, Giami Journey. Third, right? The place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami
Journey Media. And this is your brother, humble servant.
Yes, that's right. Brother Hatim, and this is Tribal Quotes. And of course, this is the Heart of a Summer production.
Give him a round of applause.
Where we strive.
To blow up your
Thank you very much, ladies. Y'all going back and going to play. We about to have some adult talk. We got Tribal Quotes going on. We on day 74 for those that don't know. In Tribal Quotes, we go from Giami Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes, by myself, Brother Hatim Giami. We go through this book, and and we are on day 74. This is a process of self-development, a process of self-discovery, and a process where we learn, where we do what we call wisdom mining. You know, twice a week, we sit down together and we do some real work, where we start having the discussions and other things pop up, right? Hopefully a lot of them got to do with issues that's going on right now, today. Hopefully you get something out of it. Hopefully we're bringing some type of value to your life, because we want to repay the community, because the community, especially in Columbus, well, really all over the nation, or really actually now all over the world, are giving us support for all the little things that we're doing here in little old Columbus, right? We got something else coming up real soon for y'all. So I want, you know, I just want to prime the pump for you. I want to get y'all ready. I want to get your mind ready, because we're about to move into a whole nother level. Because if we get the support we need for what's coming next, the stuff that we're going to be able to bring you is going to be on a whole nother level. All right, family. So now,
Do you know what an ASMR is?
no, I don't know what an ASMR, and I don't think right now is the time for you to, unless it got something. Does it got something to do with this right here? What I'm doing right now?
Yes.
What does the ASMR got to do with this right
An
now?
ASMR is a video that you eat food and there's a mic and they can hear you chewing the food, but you don't talk at all.
It ain't got nothing to do with what we doing.
The mic and they can hear you chewing the food.
All right, right now I went up to Who's Sweet and it's playing live, so y'all got to excuse me. Ain't got nothing to do with what we doing.
The mic and they can hear you chewing the food.
All right, right now I went up to Who's Sweet. All right, cool. So here we go. So there's been some memes popped up on me. It's official. I'm on day 18. Tomorrow I'm moving to day 19. I got my broth in here cooking right now. Of my 21-day Nguza Saba challenge. Now, I think I may have to go into a Nguza Saba challenge the week after. Because one of the things that I want to show is that with the farming that's going on in our community, Columbus, that I could get at least 3/4, if not 2/3 of my food from the urban gems. Matter of fact, I think I could have a whole diet based on the production of the urban gem. That means I will eat nothing. Well, let me say at least 2/3. Let's say 80%. Let's say 85%. Is that about 2/3? That's it's more than that's. Let's say about 85%, because of course I would need the bread. I would need some stuff to wrap stuff up with. But I'm thinking that my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner can come from food that I will get from the Urban Gems, because I want to support the program. I want to hype it up, and I want to hype up the Giami and, of course, the Millennium Community School connection to this thing. So I'm going to show people that we can have a sustainable diet off of the stuff that we're bringing out. You know, when you see my young people up in the market, or you see videos of us, and you see the young people out there hustling them greens, you know what I'm saying, selling them greens, those are greens that they grew inside, and now that it's warm, we're going to be able to do it outside. So family, listen. And also, speaking of that, before we get into it, let's have some serious talk, family. Listen to all those entrepreneurs, vendors, anybody else, any type of services. We want to make sure that you understand that G&J Mall is not just
A mall.
no, it is. I mean, it's a mall, but in the mall sense, I want people to understand that it's bigger than, like I said, if you have stuff in your house and you want to do a rummage sale, you know what I'm saying, it's portable, bring it on up. You know what I'm saying? If you have services that you want to offer, get a booth. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to provide the community with connections so that they could get everything that they need. Now, let's say 75% of what they need to be able to live. We want people to be able to come, and for that next week or for that next month, they don't have to have that need in their life. I want cleaning supplies. We already got somebody doing that. We got people that you can hook up as far as food, because some of y'all are so busy you don't have time to cook. So why not not contract with some of the people that might be there to go and do some daily meals for you? You know what I'm saying? Why not get some of the services? We got masseuses in the community. Why we got lawn services in our community? We got services and products that could provide 75% of the needs of our people, so that we can start funneling that money back into our community. You know what I'm saying? Funneling that money back in our community, at least a percentage of it. You know what I'm saying? It's already bad enough because, like, maybe 3 years ago, Gianni tried to do something with this deregulation of utilities. No, you know, a lot of people wasn't really responding to it in a way for us to make that successful, because we're trying to find ways where you can get the services that you're already getting at a reasonable cost, but keeping a percentage of the money in the community. Excuse me. First off, ladies, I'm doing my show. Second off, I want that cereal on the table. And I don't want you eating that right now. That's for the morning. I don't even like the fact that we got that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all gonna get, you know, I'm on my fast, so when I come off, y'all be ready for some changes. Where's oh my God. Somebody been drinking my damn ambrosia.
Mommy has.
Somebody been messing with all right, give me the, Gina, look in here, give me one of those white bottles, and get me my bottle cap opener somewhere around here. It's probably in the kitchen because Cleve opened something for his mother. Give me one of those white caps. Could you take that bottle in there and take the bottle in there and wash it off for me? So when because we know how it's gonna come out. So now we're gonna get into the folktale. Lines are open, by the way, family.
A white top?
Yeah, right in here. You know where my bottles are. The bottles are ambrosia right there, baby.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. A white top, okay? A white top. Oh, this one? Oh. This one? Oh.
Can you go wash it off for me? And I need the bottle cap opener. All right, so let's go and let's have that discussion. Family, listen. When Giammi does things, we do it representing the community. We're part of the community. Yeah, we're a tribe within the wider Columbus, but we represent our people here in Columbus. And when we throw events, you know what I'm saying, the success of the events depend on your assistance. So when you see our flyers, when you see our post, you know what I'm saying, you need to like it. Well, we would love it if you would like and share it. If you down with us, we need you to like and share it, right? Because we have to start getting the word out about everything that we're doing.
Can Gina open it?
Well, y'all ain't got some toys or something? It's real life here, Jim.
I'm too big for toys.
Oh, you too big for toys?
Yeah.
You're not too big for punishment. Upstairs. Or go sit down or something. Be quiet. You know what I'm saying? My daughters come to life when I come on air. I guess it's in them. You know what I'm saying? I read it in them. Also, we have December camps coming up, and we're going to have a local camp here in Ohio, and we would love your support for that. I'm just waiting for the information so that I can make sure I get it out to y'all, and we can start talking about getting some of the young people up involved. We already got some young people going to the national camp, but I want to make sure that somebody from Giammi, someone from Giammi is representing here in the local camp. You know what I'm saying? So, lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, the number is what, ladies?
614-556-4535.
That's right, 614-556-4535. Just call in. You don't need a code or nothing. Just call straight in, and we can have our conversation, right? But now, let me read the Proverbs. But before we read the Proverbs, let's go and pop this ambrosia. For those that's new to the station, those that's new to this broadcast, those that's new to Giammi Journey, this is the elixir of life. This is called that ambrosia. Ambrosia, that ambrosia, right? Not ambrosia, that ambrosia, right? This is that. You know what I'm saying? It's all that. And this is the food of the gods. This is a kombucha brewed with green tea and raw honey. No, not store pasteurized honey. Raw honey, straight from the beehive, right? And it has been fermented. It has been fermented, and it's excellent for you, right? Because you know I love fermented foods. I love fermented foods. Coming in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be having. I'm gonna try to do something with a little bit of food. You know what I'm saying? Cooking and stuff like that. Well, actually, I'm a steamer. Brother Quasey in our crew is a cooker. Sister Navita is a cooker. You know what I'm saying? I like to steam. It's all the same thing, applying the heat. But we all apply heat in a different way. So what I want to do is try to put something together so that we can start putting something along the lines of a warrior diet for those of us on Giammi journey, right? Because we got to, you know what I'm saying? Because health is wealth, and we need to start building that up. So let's go and pop this top to one of those elixirs, to one of those things that I hope will become a staple in the community. And I will be getting, within maybe the next 6 months, I am going to be getting those champagne bottles. And I might even get the corker so that I can start having celebratory bottles. You know, because you know, when you celebrate, you want to be able to have something that poof, get that pop. You know what I'm saying? And we can provide that here at Giammi Journey, as well as something that fills you up and is good for you, Sasha. I just told you I ain't want you eating cereal at night, so you just violated what I asked you to do. Go spit it out. Why are you putting your fingers in what I'm about to drink? It's time for y'all to go to bed. Real life here, Giammi Journey family. I'm trying. Y'all, you go and pour libation for me. Pray for me. Meditate. Send me some energy. Because,
Bye. Good night.
51, got young babies. Hey. So we're going to finish popping the top off after you cap it. Now, when you open in our brew, right, like for the small bottles, you got to cap it so that it goes out like that. And then you could go on and after the pressure's released, look at that beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not going to ask you to go upstairs again. All right, so unlike the toast, we don't have to wait to go in. Oh my God. Look at that head. I could say something so inappropriate right now, but I won't. I know some of the brothers out there thinking that, but I always like a good head. All right, anyway. Woo, look at that. Brewed right here in Columbus. And not only I can show you how to make your own, or you get it from me. Either way, you know what I'm saying, family? The whole piece is about promoting the health and sharing the information and growing together. So let's get into this conversation here. All right, here we go. We're going to let that head go down a little bit. All right. Day 74. We are on day 74. We use this. When we're doing tribal quotes, we use two books. We use this book, Giammi Journey. This is the main book, but then we also use the African Tree of Life. We're going to start another round. We on day 74. This book go up to 90 days, right? And at the beginning of the process, I read. So you go back. All you got to do is follow the days. Go back to the very first. When we open up, we always reopen up by explaining how to use this. But far as the show, we do it once a week, so it's 90 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But we could walk you through this book. It's a process. And it's a process of self-development. As a matter of fact, let's go on and let's look at it just a little bit. Giammi Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes, compiled by Brother Hatim. talk about my love for the Proverbs. Let's get here. How to use the book. After years of going through this process, I have found that it is best to do them in the proper season. Although you can start right now, I suggest you start or restart the process in the proper season. The proper season is easy to find and will be explained more in depth in another book. If you want more information about the right time to start and determining your personal season cycle, feel free to check out my blog, Geometry Journey, at geometryjourney.com. But I got so many blogs. So I'm gonna handle that. Here we go. The year is broken down into 4 seasons that we all can clearly see and feel. We know that certain activities are to be done in these seasons. The seasons are spring, summer, fall, winter. We go through these seasons every year, but many of us do not know that on the micro level, which is personal, we go through seasons as well. Our seasonal patterns may not align with the seasons that are happening on the macro level. The spring cycle of our year begins on your birthday and runs from 91 and runs for 91.25 days. And then we move into the next seasons. For example, if you was born on September 5th, it will be best for you to begin on September 5th and write for the next 90 days to get the best use from this book. The author suggests that you begin your log in the spring of your personal year. The spring is a time for planting new seeds into the soil of the mind, and these quotes and proverbs are definitely seeds. You will notice that underneath each quote or proverb there is a number 1 and a number 2. On the line marked 1, you define the proverb for yourself. So when we're looking at these proverbs, I'm not looking for you to agree with me. I'm looking for the personal, your personal view, your personal understanding of the proverb. Okay? That's the most important piece for us, right? In our personal, in our development, to get your personal understanding of the proverb. Break it down and see what is in it for you. Because in these proverbs, it's something for you. On line 2, write out what lesson you have learned from your definition and how you can use it in your life to move towards success. When you begin this process, you will find proverbs that resonate with you and some that you hate. That is okay. Stick to your commitment and work through. You will also run into some repeats as well. If you find proverbs repeated, that is your chance to look at your growth while in the midst of the process. Find where it repeats and compare your answers. You may be surprised or shocked at how different your answer, how differently you answered the same proverb or quote. After your 90 days are done, I have placed 10 more pages so that you, if you choose, can continue following the proverbs that I post on my blog. I also just suggest that you keep a diary on the side to monitor when the wisdom that you are reading and writing about starts to appear in your life experiences. Write down these experiences and notice how you react. Upon completion of the 90-day challenge, yourself on the completion of 90 days, challenge yourself to look back a year from your start date and see how you will redefine and what new insights you may find. Finally, challenge yourself to use these quotes and proverbs in your conversations and your writings. When we do this, we learn more from them. There's a proverb that states that when we teach, we learn. Enough said. So this whole book is a process that you can apply over a 90-day period. We here are applying it over a 90-day period and hopefully sparking some thought, sparking some conversation, and creating value. Right? Ooh, it went down. What's that? You open the ambrosia bottle? Nigga, you just opened an ambrosia bottle? So now you got to start brewing.
Mommy told me to.
Your mommy told you to?
Yeah.
Yo, it's It's real life here, Gianni Journey. Good. God damn it. All right, go ahead. His mommy told him to. All right. So, we keep the ambrosia flowing around here. I got to monitor because, you know, some people take advantage. I use ambrosia to cook with. I use ambrosia salad dressing. Family, this stuff is so useful. All right, but hold on. Let's get into the proverb for the night. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Now, let me stress this as well. Oh, Gianni Journey Mall, June 29th. Millennial Community School from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right, day 74. You don't have to agree with the proverb. Let me say that to you. You don't have to agree with the proverbs, but still explore what they are saying. Many times, many of us, we just want to confine ourselves with shit that we want to hear. We need to hear contrary views to our own so that we can really understand why we are or why we are where we are. So we can really evaluate. We got to constantly question. We got to constantly explore. You understand? Right? Because we don't want to become so dogmatic that a new idea that may save our community is overlooked because we were caught up in our ways. This is a lesson that we need to learn from something. You know what I'm saying? Tradition is important. Tradition is something that need to be maintained. But also, we have to have a group of elders that are able to shake up the traditions every now and then. Group of individuals to shake up the traditions so that we could take another look at them. Because if we get stuck in some shit that's not working, but we're doing it because the ancestors did it like that, that shit is not right. Our ancestors want us to rise. They don't want us to stay stuck. Many people are stuck in their lives because they want to stick to traditions. In my Native American family, there's this thing called the Hyoka. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But the Hyoka is like the clown, the sacred clown, right? And the sacred clown does everything backwards. If you turn to the right and everybody is turning to the right, the Hyoka will turn to the left. If everybody's sitting on their butt, the Hyoka might sit on his head. They're going to do something. They're like the trickster of the community. And even in our mythology, we had tricksters who would flip over the traditions and stuff so that people can explore. And so we don't want to get so caught up in what we're doing that we are not open to other opportunities or miss other opportunities because we're stuck. Family, those of you that's in my age grade, we can't do that shit. We can't do that shit. We had generations before us that did that shit. And one of the reasons that we are stuck in the situation we are now is because many people were keeping tradition and were so serious about the tradition, and there was no sacred clowns. Maybe I'm a sacred clown. Sometime. Maybe I'm the trickster. I've been called trickster several times. One of my sisters say, "You just a trickster." Sister Gloria always called me, "You just a trickster." You know what I'm saying? Because I come in, I start shit. I say shit, and you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, and I always been like that. I just can't help it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like boom. And now that I'm older, shit, I don't even give a fuck. You know, in some cases, because me caring about how people think about me may put my children's lives at risk. May put my future generations' lives at risk. Because I'm caring about how everybody see me. That's a burden for somebody else to carry. I don't have to carry that. Because you know what I'm saying? My work stands on its own. You understand what I'm saying? My dedication to who I am and who my people are stands on its own. So, you know, I'm just like, yo, so I'm here we go. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Goddamn. George Bernard Shaw. Proverb number 1. Proverb number 2. No passion so effectively robs the mind of its powers of acting and reasoning as fear. Edmund Burke. Proverb number 2. Proverb number 3. Do not talk about a rhinoceros if there is no tree nearby. South Africa. So, those are the Proverbs of the day. And it don't look like nobody calling in, so I'm going to get the feast on these on my own and devour them. You know what I'm saying? Once again, lines are open. Let me type it in. Call-in lines are open. Let me make sure that I got the chat on Spreaker. Let me type it in. Call-in line. Open 614-556-4535. Boom. Let me put it on Spreaker too, family. We want the Spreaker family involved in this. By the way, family, if you could, go out and like our Spreaker page. This is a Giambi Journey Media. Or just look up Giambi Journey or look up Hot Tim on Spreaker and like our page. Also like us on Facebook. No, not like the group Giambi Journey on Facebook and YouTube if you would, and subscribe. Call in lines. Call in. I said Cali. Call in at 614-556-4535. Bow. There we go. And we might even be able to get blessed and get Kwame to get a show. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a lot calmer than me and has a lot more information than me, logged into that brilliant mind of his, so we might be able to talk him into doing a show or doing something. Now, also, family, be sure to check out our June newsletter. Right? In our June in newsletters, we're gonna be updating you about the stuff that we're doing. We're eventually gonna have a coming events page. We're eventually gonna be able to accept ads and stuff, and we're going to grow it as our influence starts growing over social media and in the different communities where eventually Giambi tribe members are gonna start popping up. Now, but there is, because y'all heard Quasi talking the other day about 150 person rule. In Giambi, there's a 150 person rule. When we reach 150 people, we have to split the tribe. Crazy, right? Got to split the tribe. So eventually there'll be 2 Giambi tribes, except all the people, you know what I'm saying? Giambi is going to be the initiation hub. And the next tribe is going to have to find whatever it is they're going to take control of or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then they're going to have their own name, right? Still be part of the Giambi, up under the Giambi umbrella, but we're going to have to, tribes can only grow to the size of 150 fully active members. Now, if you're an associate member and stuff like that, or you just donating stuff, that's not really counted as a member. If you're really active in what we're doing, when we reach 150, the Giambi has to split. So that we got, you know what I'm saying? Because the issue is that after 150 people, science shows, actually it's about 149, the science shows that there starts to be a cultural breakdown because people don't know each other. We have to be able to interact. A culture is we have to be able to interact. So with 150 people, that I'm closely associated with, that I'm dealing with, I'm gonna be able to know names. I'm gonna be able to know families. I'm gonna be able to know different individuals. But after 150, there's like a breakdown, and so you have to kind of tribe it off. Now we still could be meeting in the same places, but it'll be a different name, like because everybody's in Giame is like Giame, right? But then eventually we're gonna have another tribe coming because we're growing slowly and steadily. But eventually we're gonna have another tribe. You know what I'm saying? Somebody within Giame who got their rank up is gonna be able to get their own tribe, right? Of course, it's going, we fam, right? We fam, and we got to make sure we, because the story of Gia go with them, but then, but with starting a tribe, you have to be able to have. Now, that's top secret. I don't talk too much. All right, here we go. So, somebody out there, family, anybody, 1 to 3. I need to know which number you want me to start with. 1, 2, or 3. So somebody out there. So while I'm waiting for somebody to respond, I will look. There has been some memes. Once again, memes are going up about Brother Hatim. Because once again, I'm on day 18. Well, actually, I'm moving towards day 19. Woo! I'm almost done. Man, I done completed another 21-day fast. And then the next one, and like I said, I'm going to talk with the people I need to talk to. I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to be, showing y'all some of the stuff that I'm going to be making, and how I'm making it. A majority of the stuff I do is going to be steamed, but I'm finding out that I can make a whole bunch of different stuff, like kale pesto, right? You know what I'm saying? And rather than using olive oil, of course, I'm going to throw the African piece in there and throw that palm oil in there. See, because my whole piece is, one, connecting back to who I am, right? Connecting back to the African in me, right? Although I am ADOS, right? My roots are in the continent of Africa, and most likely the west coast of Africa. And a major thing that pops over there, and I love it, is the palm oil and the coconut oil. So we're going to get into using that with some of these leafy green vegetables and some of these herbs, right? See, because although we might not be able to grab all of the leafy greens over there, the leafy greens were an important part of our survival mechanism over here. So I'm going to be able to plug into that whole ADOS thing, but at the same time, bring that African touch with some of the products that I'm able to get from over there, that I'm able to add to kind of throw in that African element so that they could plug into my DNA. So Miss Tracy is on the line once again. Let me go and clear the table, because last time Miss Tracy called in, she called in and started a conversation that got the lines popping because she put a challenge out. Go ahead, Miss Tracy. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
I was kind of waiting for you to read the three quotes again, since I didn't really catch them all.
All right, here we go. Number 1, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. George Bernard Shaw. That's number 1. Number 2, Edmund Burke. This is by a dude by the name of Edmund Burke. No passion so effectively robs the mind of its powers of acting and reasoning as fear. And number 3, do not talk about a rhinoceros if there is no tree nearby. That's South Africa. 1, 2, or 3. Your choice. You can start. You gonna participate in the conversation. You ain't gonna sneak out on me.
I'll say 1.
All right, so she wants to start with 1. Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Hold on. Wait. Anime, get on your job. Anime fasting too. When I fast my mythical animals, they fast to support me. At least they They say they fasting. My Phoenix over here looking like she gaining weight, but she claims she fasting. Don't go ahead. So you want to start off, or you want me to start off?
You can start.
Now I think you better start because you already know how I get, girl. I'm just throwing it out there. Now you can throw it back to me, but you know how I get.
Okay, so what I found is I found that to be true. You have people who say like, oh, they're just set in their ways. Those are the people don't want to be bothered with.
She said people that say that they set in their ways. How many of y'all know people that say, hey man, I'm just setting my ways? Damn. Sorry, Facebook.
Or the other one is to be proud to be stubborn. I'm just stubborn. That ain't cute. These are in my experiences where I found that people who are stubborn or set in their ways, so to speak, they're not interested in being open to like opening up their minds to learning other things. And I can say that because I kind of like lately, probably over these past few months, I've realized how I've been set in my ways where being open, my mind been opening up to new things that's made me feel like I've been missing so much. You know, like, okay, so it's like, in order for me to move forward, I have to really, you have to, like, get uncomfortable. That's what I've noticed. That progress is definitely, for progress to move forward, you have to constantly be changing in your mind or have your, don't be just set in your ways. I mean, you have to be ready to move too.
Three of the foundations of Giami is honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. We talk about this, and you know what's crazy? Have you noticed that within our lore, honor, loyalty, and sacrifice is not even in the questions, but even people that don't know the questions or and have been around might not know the questions. They all know the honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. Have you noticed that? Especially when it comes to the adults. Because these are three tenets. And one of the things I was thinking about in the car as I was coming home, because when, like I said, this is my life, family. Y'all got to really understand. I have been blessed to be able to have figured out how to engineer my life around this shit, around what we do, right? I'm able to put myself in a situation, and adapt within that situation to where I'm able to fulfill what I need to do in that situation, as well as in what I produce, I'm able to apply to this, or at least I connected, or I've been doing this shit since I was 20. Since I was 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom, I'm 51 now. So for 31 years, I've been figuring out how to get into places or do things and to be able to mold what I'm doing. Not just mold it, but to be able to get into it and use it to accomplish what I need to accomplish, as well as accomplish what I feel I need for my people. And I've been blessed in that way because I've been able to be a servant. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't even understand the power of that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that started with volunteerism, which goes back to the point that I'm trying to make. One of our key tenets is sacrifice. People don't understand the power of sacrifice. And what Miss Tracy, I believe, is hitting on is one of those pieces as far as when you set in your ways. When you're setting your ways, you're comfortable. And part of being a member of Giami, or being in our tribe, is that we have to find ways to make ourselves uncomfortable, so that because we understand that only when we are uncomfortable, only when we are, in a sense, and a lot of people don't like this word, only when we are suffering can we grow. Growth is a byproduct of suffering. And anybody that tells you that it is not is trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme. Please understand that. So when you say you're stuck in your ways, what you're saying is, I don't want to be uncomfortable. When you are uncomfortable, you are suffering. And when you are suffering, it opens you up to find ways so that you can stop the suffering, or that you can make it through the suffering. And this is why, like, for example, in Germany, I set the example with, like, so, I say, well, I'm fasting for 21 days. So some of the young men that's looking at me, let's say, look, I'm gonna be doing what he doing. I'm taking, because I'm taking his position. They're looking at me like, okay, 21 days, okay, all right. Because they're going to repeat the process that I go through, and they're going to refine the process that I go through. Because I leave notes. Like every time we talk and all this, we're leaving notes and shit. Every time we do a show, we're leaving notes. So they're going to be able to refine the process. They're going to be able to do the research behind the process. They're going to be able to add foods that I didn't even know about. They're going to be able to add these little twists and turns to their suffering, where they are able to extract and get to that point where I was at day 11, and shit start happening. And they're going to be able to magnify that. So they're going to be able to take what I'm doing and all the stuff that was manifesting for me on day 11. They're going to be able to extend day 11 over, instead of one day, it's going to be day 10, 11, and 12. Because they understand that whole suffering piece. They're going to take it to another level. What I believe Miss Tracy was bringing up, and I think is very important, is to understand is that many of us, we can't change because, how I said, progress is impossible without change. And most of us don't want to change because we don't want to suffer. Pain is not the worst thing, family. Suffering is not the worst thing. The worst thing is being stuck and looking back and being like, damn, I could have did more. For me, that's hell. And for most of the people that's doing that with their life, and you look back and say, I could have did more. If you could have did more and you didn't do more, please believe that when you pass on, you're going to be forgotten. And you know what that is for? Well, hell for African is being forgotten. I strive never to be forgotten. So I'm trying to extract everything that I get out this moment. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm leaving the seeds and I'm leaving my lessons, so that the young people behind me can take my lessons, if they choose to take my lessons, and be able to move it towards another level. So it said progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds, which is the first battleground. We have to change how we think. This is why in Giame we're talking amongst ourselves. When we talk amongst ourselves, we're using terms like emoja. We're going to move it, and in a minute we're going to be moving it up to where now motherfuckers got to recognize when they need to start using proverbs and things like that, so that we can start changing how we think. Just the whole thing of having to keep track of your week in a way that you're unaccustomed to puts you in an uncomfortable place. And then having to monitor who you say the day of the week with puts you in a whole nother uncomfortable place, because there's a consequence behind that. And you're fully with the consequence. So you're able to grow. Right? So progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. The mind is the key. So we have to start putting ourselves in situations where we can change our minds. And how do you change your mind, Miss Tracy, if you don't challenge the very things that you thinking? If you don't ask questions about the very things that you thinking? Any system, any God, any leader that does not challenge you to think truly, because they're all of them going to say, well, I want you to think. But do not challenge you to think truly. It's conning you. It's conning you. Think. You have to be able to change your thoughts, and you have to be able to evolve. But go ahead. I hear you. I hear you. Go ahead.
So I thought of two things. One of the things that we spoke of before in conversation was about the illusion. You know, the illusion of thinking that, of believing that you're not poor. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, that's what it was. The illusion of children believing that they are rich. So that's one of those mind tricks where, you know, being not relating to your circumstances thoroughly. It's also one of those moments of not trying to change your mind or trying to avoid what the truth is.
There you go.
That's what I think of that.
Yeah, I mean,
the other one.
Go ahead. No, you go.
The other one was, what was the quote? I free about freeing 1,000 slaves. I would have freed 1,000 more if they
only knew they were slaves. If they only knew they were slaves.
Buying the illusion, buying that illusion.
And one of the pieces that you start finding is that a lot of people are uncomfortable with reality, with the reality that they are in. So they come up with these terms, and we come up with ways of playing with the reality so that we could become comfortable. Family, listen, especially if you have children, you need to make your children uncomfortable with our present state. The reason we got as much action in the 60s that we did from young people, it wasn't old people doing that shit. Martin Luther King wasn't he wasn't old. Malcolm X wasn't old. The reason we got all this shaking and movement from Stokely Carmichael's and all those young people was because they were uncomfortable. If you want your children to change their situation, they have to be uncomfortable. Because as long as you are in comfort, you have no reason to grow. Suffering causes growth. And I ain't saying go and just beat your kids on a daily basis, but there are things that we can start doing to change. This is why when you talk about rites of passage, nobody really wants to talk about the reality of what rites of passage was about. Rites of passage was about exposing young people to the reality of their position, the pain, the suffering, the being uncomfortable and doing uncomfortable things so that they can grow. And so that the people, as they grow, the people can grow with them. But no, we want to give our children illusions and shit. How do we progress as a people when all of us are, when we are dreaming? When we still live in the dream? I have a dream one day. And all of y'all we all still dreaming. Dreams only come to action when we go to work. And in order to make that work, we have to have honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. Sacrifice being one of the major ones on there. This is why I challenge people. I say, listen, I understand like we get up early. You know, we in summertime right now. I understand we get up early and do the daily toast. It's a sacrifice. A small one. A small one. But a powerful step. A affirmation. An action that becomes an affirmation within your life that says that you want to move forward. You don't have to agree with shit I do. Or, no, my fault. You don't have to agree with shit I say or shit I do. You have to even have to like my diatribes. But the fact that you get up, look, get to the toast, nigga. Just get to the toast. Right? Because we have to start learning that when I sacrifice and I give, a cycle is developing. And there's a cycle that develops between those that tune in with me and them, regardless of where they are, because I'm giving time, I'm giving something, I'm making sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? It's pain and suffering behind the very phone that I'm looking at you right now and talking to you about. I'm talking to you on the speaker, how we connect to speaker. There's pain and suffering in how I got that to do that. Right? And it's like, boom, there's a transaction that's going on between us. And that's what Mayat is. That's Mayat is truth, justice, righteousness, because there has to be a balance in the transactions between us. And when somebody like Sister Tracy called in and let me run my mouth this long without cutting me off, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, but baby, you better get in here because you already know how it is.
I mean, I really wanted to touch on that because, I was thinking between 1 and 3, but that one is the one I think the mind is more powerful, and a lot of us still don't realize that. So that's like where I'm at now. It's like I deal with kids and youth, trying to incorporate a mindset change that's their idea. I think that's what my challenge is to coach them into seeing their own greatness.
Now,
so that is my challenge. That mindset shift.
The mind is what's that? Which question is that?
You still in the first one?
No, I'm talking about right.
I don't know.
Because now what you're approaching is the third level. That right there, what you displayed, is called third level intelligence. Intelligence of the memorization, intelligence of the heart, intelligence of the mind, intelligence of, what you just displayed there was intelligence of the heart. It's becoming part of you. So you don't even know you don't even know the question. But because me and you interact, I know that it's part of, because we in a tribe, I understand that what you said. And a lot of people out there don't understand what I'm saying. Right? Out there. But because you in my tribe and we speak a similar language, what you just spoke to me is a language, and I asked you which question because I wanted to see something. But the point that I'm trying to make is that in order for us to coach our children into greatness, or no, not only coach them into greatness, but you use the statement, the mind is all powerful. Our minds are all powerful for us or against us. The one thing that determines whether it's for us or against us is if the mind is standing on a foundation of reality or illusion. If it's on a foundation of reality, it's all powerful for us. If it's standing on a foundation of illusion, it's all against us. most of the adults and the young people that we run into when we first start dealing with them are still dealing in an illusionary state. And it's hard to shadow that illusionary state. And you have to put them in situations where they have to question the very reality that they're being taught about, the very reality that they are existing in. They have to question all of that so that they can start looking and saying, damn, and being able to get to the virtues of Mayat, where they talk about being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because if you look at the last questions, we got it. Can't remember which number it is, but it's the laws, it's the virtues of Mayat. Right? Well, actually, we got the 7 virtues, then we got the 7. Oh God, 7 laws, or Kwame, you need to call in and say me, bro. But
it's like I want to say. So the questions don't line up with the conversation. That's what we were talking about before. So it's 42 laws, but then I was asking about the virtues and the principles. So that's where I was getting confused with the principles and the laws. And you explained it's 42 laws, so I think it's 7 virtues and 10 principles.
There you go. See, because Kwame clarified that. Because what we was calling laws are actually not even. He called them the 7 attributes of Maya, the 7 things that in a sense describe Mayatic behavior: truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, order, and harmony. But then there are 10 principles in a sense that we need to practice. Controlling your thoughts, controlling your action, devotion to purpose, faith in my master's ability to teach me the truth, faith in my ability to adhere to the truth, blah, 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 and on. You know what I'm saying? And those practices start coming out through our process, because individuals have to start because what we got to get our children into is, or not only our children, but we call them wannabes, those family members that want to be part of us. We got to get them to start questioning, because that's when the true learning is happening. Because we have to understand, see, if reciprocity is not happening, learning is not really, in a sense, transpiring. And what I mean by that, when the teacher gives, the student receives, but then also the student gives and the teacher receives. So there's an exchange that's going on. So when you look at ancient practices, you will see masters throwing out questions to students. Students responding to the question, and then the master going back and reflecting on the students' responses and responding with another question, so rather than the teacher, the master giving the student more information, the master is forcing the student to dig deeper within those inner resources and start regurgitating information that they didn't even know that they had, by using skills that were given to them. Because in school, you are supposed to receive the basic skills of thinking, not regurgitating the basic skills. Math teach you basic principles of thinking. Writing teach you how to structure thoughts. Reading teach you how to engage with other people's thoughts that are not right there with you. Not just being able to absorb other people's information and regurgitate that shit, but then once again, memorization, intelligence of the mind, intelligence of the heart. Bringing it right back to our lessons. But shouts out to Osos213 hashtag. I don't know what that means. He said, K Apostle, what's up? To you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Like and share, but he said Esther in English. Yeah, we in English, man. I'm sorry. And I know you probably put that up there 30 minutes ago and shit. But yeah, so progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. We got to be very clear about that, family. That mind is one of the first refuges, one of the first dams you got, one of the first battle lines that you got to cross in order to make the changes. And then when you run, because sometimes, and then it's even, and what's crazy is that when you run into people that are dogmatic, stuck where they are, you don't be mad at them, you just keep on moving. You ain't got to convince them. You know what I'm saying? We don't proselytize. You don't need to proselytize. You leave that for the Christians and the other. That you don't need to proselytize. When you ready, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually, like I said, we'll have a man house, we'll have a woman house, we'll have a clubhouse where we can gather. Man house is for men rituals, women's house is for the women's rituals, and then we have the clubhouse where we all get together and have a good time. Safely, of course. But all right. Which one we going to go to next? So you want to go deeper in that one?
3.
Do not talk about the rhinoceros if there is no tree nearby. Very simple. You go on hit it first. Go on. You go on hit it. Come on, girl. Throw it out. Come on.
Okay, so I thought of this in 2 ways. But what just came across me was a conversation that we had before. My son is going to the military, and
Stop.
I was pretty amazed.
Stop. I don't remember this conversation. Who going to the military?
Okay, it's I have a son that he actually graduated a couple years ago, and so anyway, he's going to the Air National Guard. So anyway, the whole thing was that I had family who went to the military and stuff like that. However, the way I feel about how things are now wasn't really comfortable with my son going to the military. However, when he decided that he was going to enlist, I'm emotional about it in my own way. However, I don't have anything else to alternatively offer him.
Hold on.
So,
Hold on, family. We're gonna give Miss Tracy a round of applause. Because that's a bit of reality for a lot of us that a lot of us don't want to face. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me say this about the military. I love the military. I love the military. I went to the military at 16 and a half. I was still in high school. I did what they call a split option program, and it was one of the best things that I ever did. And I think, and to kind of reassure you as a parent, because I know we're living in dangerous times, but we always lived in dangerous times. We're always going to be in dangerous times. But I think that if and when he makes it through, he will get something that he was not able to get at home nor in the streets, and that gives you more time so that when he come back and he has to make another critical choice, because what we want to put ourselves, as far as Yame, we want to put ourselves in a position that when our young people come to points in their lives and they have to make critical decisions, we can give them a viable option. Many of us exist in an illusion, and we lie to our children, we lie to ourselves about what we're going to be able to provide for them and what we want to do for them. And when that time hit, we can't accept the reality. And what you did was like you said the reality. I don't want to go to the military, but I don't have no options for them right now. We working on that shit, sis. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Did I talk her off the line?
I'm still here.
Oh.
So what I thought about that is to talk about the. Did you read it again about the rhinoceros? Don't talk about the rhinoceros when he doesn't have a tree.
Do not talk about a rhinoceros if there is no tree nearby.
So again, the way I thought about that is the rhinoceros is ready to, in my opinion, release rage. So the first thing that it wants to do is kind of like, attack. And if you don't have the tree there to offer it, then the attack could be unpredictable. You don't know where the attack will land. That's my take on it.
Now, for me, this is one of those pick your battle type things. There's a similar proverb that goes, "The mouse only laughs. The mouse only laughs and teases the cat when there's a hole nearby." You only deal with something that could crush you when you have something bigger that could protect you from that thing nearby. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, and it's sort of like picking and choosing your battles. If I'm standing on the plains and a fucking rhinoceros is out there, and the rhinoceros is minding his business, I'm not gonna go and fuck with the rhinoceros because, like you said, he's gonna be unpredictable, and when he comes raging, he's coming to hit me. And if I don't have an escape route, an escape plan, I am more than likely going to die. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people deal with these issues that are rhinoceroses without
And
any...
that's what I was going to say. The attack will be on you. If you don't have the tree, if there's not a tree there, then the attack is against you. Nothing else to offer it.
Nothing else to offer it. Because when it comes, you got to have an escape route. And for a rhinoceros, you're not going to outrun that motherfucker. So you need somewhere to go high and out of his ability, because rhinoceros can't climb a fucking tree. They can hit the tree. But if it's a sturdy tree, you ain't got to worry about it. But other than that, family, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we go out and we pick battles that there's no possibility we going to win. And when you see something like that happening, you have to keep this proverb in mind, because when you see somebody that's going up against a thing or a person that they can't possibly win against, start looking for the hole or the tree that they're going to climb into. You know what I'm saying? You learn this in the street because, like, oftentimes when you see a little motherfucker that's talking super bold, and you like, man, I'll slap this motherfucker in two. You know what I'm saying? One of the first things you learn, there's obviously obviously a tree in this motherfucker. Because I know this little motherfucker is not taught. There is an escape route. There is a trap. There's something about to pop off on me if I take this bait. I learned that early. You know what I'm saying? I learned it early. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to start looking for this, because it's not just a proverb to tell you, all right, boom. You know, if you pick a fight with somebody bigger, run up a tree. Make sure there's a tree close by to you. Make sure you got an escape route. But also for you to recognize the other angle. If you are in a situation and an individual could look at, and you could look at that individual and you could know that they know that there's no possible way they can win. You dealing with one or two. Huh?
Pick your battles.
You pick your battles, but I'm saying that if you are on the possible winning side and you're looking at somebody that you know can be obliterated, and they're talking and they're talking crazy, it's one or two things happening. Either you dealing with a totally crazy person, or you dealing with a wickedly wise individual that is setting you up. You understand?
Yeah.
Because they got a tree to climb. You the rhinoceros. You look at it from the perspective of rhinoceros. If I know that I could run you over, I know that I could destroy you, I know that I could crush you, and you're talking crazy to me, either you are crazy or you have a trap and you have outthought me. So I have to be very cautious in how I approach you and how I deal with you, because you have some information that obviously I don't have, or you just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, Miss Jacqueline Brooks is on the line. I see you there, sister. What's going on? Shots out. So, that rhino piece, that's an important one, and that's one we need to kind of stress when we dealing with our young people, because these are traps that are being laid for them as well. You know what I'm saying? A easy victory, just from the looks of it, is not always what it appears. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, in Chicago, they used to lay traps for young black kids. They would park a trailer of Jordans in black neighborhoods and just leave it open. And when they caught the kids coming out, they would get them for robbery. You understand? It was some.
Yeah, I've actually seen it was something like that with a stolen car on TV, where basically putting the bait in place to see if they're going to steal it. However, then they in trouble.
Baiting you. I'm baiting you. I'm watching these finals and got Solomon listening to you during halftime. Uh-oh. All right. What's up, Solomon? What's up, nephew? How you doing, sir? So, so now let's go to this last one so that we can call it a night, because it's 10:30. My soup is, actually my broth is in there roasted right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't wait. All right, so we on number 2. No passion. Young people, old people, listen to this one. No passion so effectively robs the mind of its powers of acting and reasoning as fear. Edmund Burke. Come on, Miss Tracy. You're taking the lead on this. Come on now. I'm getting you ready. I'm getting you ready to take over the show.
Read it one more time.
No passion so effectively robs the mind of its powers of acting and reasoning as fear.
Oh, yes, the fear pulls your track. Fear keeps you from, fear keeps you in a comfort zone. So, I think fear enables that progress we were talking about in the first one. I mean, yeah. Fear disables that progress in the first one. So I think they kind of coincide a little bit.
Oh, man, they definitely do. They definitely do. And also, fear, how can I put it? Fear is a strategy fear-mongering is a strategy that's used to call the masses. Nephew, listen to this, man. They control the world by fear. Now, the first thing that we have to get in our mind is what's the worst thing that could happen to us? Right? So, like, as a warrior, one of the things that we have to come to terms with, see, because whether you're a nation builder at nation builder age, elder age, you are still on the warrior path because we are at war. We have been under siege for hundreds of years. We got to understand that. Those of you that are in school, you are under siege right now. Information, they're hiding information, and you got to take your time to finish what you need to do for them. But then you got to get out there and get what you need for you. You know what I'm saying? In the job place, your time is under siege. They're paying you that little bit of money for your time. You got to give them what they need, but then you got to get what you need for you. You're under siege. You know what I'm saying? In our community, economically, we're under siege, and the piece that's used to make sure that you can't think is fear. Fear mongering. You know what I'm saying? I got to breed fear between y'all. This is why I keep on saying we have to start establishing tribes where we are so that I know who I can trust. You know what I'm saying? Who can I call when I have an issue? And if I don't need nothing, I don't need your money. I just need your ear. And I need to know that once it enters your ear, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, I don't have to worry about it coming back and biting me in my ass or other people talking about my shit. You understand what I'm saying? I need, so, you know what I'm saying? In order to beat a people, in order to beat a bigger opponent, you got to breed that fear. You got to put that seed of fear in their mind. Now, going back to the rhinoceros piece, because as Sister Trace said, they always connect. One of the tactics that Muhammad Ali used, I don't know whether he did it on purpose or he just didn't know, or he just was just something that happened. The way he talked to his opponents, especially with Sonny Liston, because you could really see it with Sonny Liston. He would get so irate that they started to wonder whether he was crazy. So he talked to himself in such a fervor. If you will go and watch the movie, I can't remember, Sister Jackie, what's the name? The Greatest. You look at the movie The Greatest. You will see Muhammad Ali go into such a fervor that they would tell him that if he don't calm down, they're going to cancel the fight. Right? And Sonny Liston could do nothing but look at this man and wonder, either this man knows something I don't know, or this man is crazy. And I don't want to fuck with either one of those. I don't want to battle either one of those. Right? Muhammad Ali threw fear in its place, not out the window. See, because I need my young warriors out there to understand, you don't get rid of fear. Fear is, in a sense, your survival detector. Fear is something that is natural. It comes up in us. What we have to master and learn how to do as warriors, as individuals in this life, is learn how to deal and work through the fear. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, because there's a lot of kids that they get to math and they get punked out by math because they haven't learned how to deal with fear. You know what I'm saying? They haven't learned how to deal with the fear of failure. They haven't learned how to deal with the fear of not knowing. They haven't learned how to deal with those fears, and because they have never really dealt with having to deal with fear, because every time they cried, somebody would come and pick them up. Every time they was hungry, somebody would put, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Sometimes that suffering is good because individuals learn and grow and learn how to deal with shit. And while we have our babies and when we have our young people, we got to learn how to let them, all right, shit, go and cry. You fell down, all right, cool, all right, hold on. Can you reach up? Can you jump up? Can you spin around? All right, get on and play. You know what I'm saying? Suffer a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that when it comes to the math, you know, boom, you start crying, go and cry. Yeah, you're good. Get it out. It's hard, right? Yeah. It's painful, right? Yeah. Yeah, it hurts, right? You mad because you don't know this. Well, you wasn't supposed to know this. This is math. This is another level of math. Go and work through it. Work through your fear. Because it's not that our kids are not good at math. It's that our kids fear math. And because they fear it, what does it do? What does it say? No passion so effectively robs the mind of its powers of acting and reasoning. So they freeze and they can't even reason. They come to a test because everybody will put all this pressure on them on a test. Family, our job is not to teach our children not to fear. Our job is to teach our children how to manage the fear, because fear serves its purpose. And oftentimes by us telling our children they need to be fearless or they don't need to have fear, we are counterproductive. We are countering what we are actually trying to do for our children. Our people would not have survived for as long as we did. Before the incursion and after incursion, if we did not have a healthy sense of fear and the skills of fear management. Because fear could make me act too soon, and fear could make me act too late. The master of his own fate is able to act when it's right, not because they're scared on either end. Take the mind, keep the body. That's right. Now, as a movie I like, well, I never watched the whole goddamn thing, but I suppose I like because I like sci-fi. But it's called Doom. And one of my favorite parts, even though I slept through half of that shit. And the book too goddamn long. They call fear the mind killer. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the mind killer. I don't agree with that shit. I mean, it's a good concept, right? We need to learn how to manage our fear. Because anybody tell you they're not scared, anybody tell you they don't have fear, nah, it's not that. You're dealing with a very traumatized individual that does not know how to that does not understand what they're feeling. They have twisted up their feelings and shit. And you might need to reconsider hanging with that motherfucker, because if they can't recognize fear, they're very dangerous to you and to everybody around them. Please. So, fear stops the mind from working. And what we have to be able to do is manage that fear so that we can squeeze the reasoning out. We have to learn how to put our children in situations where fear rises up and they have to quickly reason. Anyway. Man. Oh. Jackie said, you have to watch Kanye on David Letterman on Netflix and see his church. So Kanye got a church. Jesus. It sounds funny, but he made some good points about fear. Hey, listen. You don't have to necessarily totally agree with somebody to get the wisdom from them. Shit. A lot of quotes in these books. The people, when we read the history, we won't even like these motherfuckers. But these motherfuckers have some gems. You know what I'm saying? You can find wisdom everywhere. So family, I'm going to check that out, Sister Jack. I'm going to check that out. It's on Netflix. There is a whole, do they have a Netflix special on his church? Oh, it's not the church you think. All right, you have to, well, is there a link that you can send me so I can check out? I want to check this out because maybe this might be a subject for a future show. Family, be on the lookout for what's coming next with Giambi Journey. I told you we got some major announcements coming. I got an announcement possibly tomorrow. I need to go on and talk with the people. And I might have another announcement possibly on Kuumba about some of the next steps for Giambi Journey. And then we'll be able to lay out some stuff. No, you will see everything during the interview. Know what I'm saying is but you said on Netflix. So on you talking about David Letterman's show on Netflix. I thought David Letterman had a podcast. But anyway, let me look for that. So David Letterman got an individual show on Netflix now. And one of the interviews he did is with Kanye West. So I'm going to have to check that out. I will look at that possibly tomorrow. Because I got to get up. Cool, I'm going to do that. And anyway, family, those that don't know, Jacqueline C. Brooks is one of those, is an author, a thought leader, because the whole concept that we got of cultural stabilizing holidays come from Sister Jackie. You know what I'm saying? You know, got to give credit where credit is due. Shit, that was hot. I wish I had thought about that shit. But my sister thought about it, and that shit was hot. And we've been running with that shit ever since. Ever since. That's part of here. That's part of the language as far as man. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. Cultural stabilization, baby. Cultural stabilization. Cultural stabilization. You know what I'm saying? This is a culture stabilizing holiday. This is culture stabilizing food. I'm not watching She's Gotta Have It. I'm not picking up no more shows. I'm watching Shy right now. Trying to finish the first season of Shy. Catch up with the second season of Shy. I'm trying to catch up with American Gods and shit, but it's so different from the book. So I don't even need, Shy. I'm not watching She's Gotta Have It. Cause I gotta have it. I don't need competition. You know what I'm saying? All right, but yo, shouts out to everybody that took the time to spend your time with us. Please believe me, your time is valuable to me, and we will get a little bit more concise with the shows. But these are live shows and stuff like that, so we're going to start putting out some stuff. You said that Shy ain't good. Shy could be Detroit. It could be anywhere. The story, that story good. Go on, Jackie. Go on with that shit. Go on. You telling me season 1 is not good. Come on now. But hey, like I said, that's why we got a newsletter. Nothing distinct about that. Listen, I can't expect for my enemy to fully give me what I need, but I can find jewels. Like, for example, season 1, quotable. Cousin is asking cousin, why don't you give me some money for my food truck? He said, man, look, I'm cash poor right now, blah, blah, blah. You know, those trucks fail 70% of the time, blah, blah, blah. Cousin, what? Yeah, well, cousin, I want to own my own thing, blah, blah, blah. Then right in the middle of the scene, you have an Asian dude that comes up out the closet and walk by the cousin, and the cousin starts speaking Chinese or whatever language he speaks to this dude, and the dude goes to the bathroom. And homeboy said, you got somebody living in your closet? He said, yeah, in China, living space is small, so my closet is a nice space for them. He said, why you got somebody living in your closet? He said, I'm trying to get another stream of income. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to have multiple streams of income. Having multiple streams of income allow you to take more risk. Jackie, that whole season was worth that conversation for me. You said there was nothing distinct. Then it fizzled out because there was nothing distinct to Chicago. Okay. But you do admit season 1 is good. I ain't got to watch season 2. I'm trying to fit in season 1. Well, hell, shit. It could have been it could have been any scene with black folks. Now, who fired from the show? Who, the cousin? Which cousin? I don't follow all that shit, Jackie. But, yo, Jackie is an author, and I'm waiting for her to come out with something. Every now and then she contributes to the newsletter. So we're going to give her a round of applause for that. But I understand what you're saying. They could have just called it Black City is what you're saying. It didn't have to be Chicago. It could have just been Black City, right? Is that what you mean? It was nothing distinct about it. It could have just been Black City. Oh, he ain't on the show no more? Wow. Well, that's how I go when we don't, when we ain't running shit. He wanted more money. Hell no, you ain't getting no money. Lenny Wade dropped him, and so did all his managers. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got, like I said, we start small, and, shit. In 30 years, Solomon be able to step in and be able to do the type of shit he want. I want to do a Black Folks in Space. Yeah. We got a colony. And we don't have problems with white folks no more, but we got problems with flying birds that's trying to run the same tricks on us that the white man ran on us in the past. And Cleveland be like, I want to be a producer, but my sister Gina got to be in the movie. All right, cuz, we can do that. Where's he interning at? Come on now, you usually fast on them keys, man. Where is he doing an internship at? Well, we want to talk. I know people like, what in the hell is going? This is a family show. This is a tribe. Shit, I got a tribe. He doing an internship with you. That's hot. What the hell you doing? I mean, is he writing articles? Oh, that's that thing you wanted me to call you about, right? I'm waiting. Can't hear you, Jack. You ain't talking loud enough. You usually loud as hell. I can't. But family, listen, I want to thank all of y'all for taking y'all time. Jackie will get with me after the show so I can find out what she's talking about. Her son doing an internship with her. No, read. See, there you go with that. All right, so now, let me explain. Jackie fast on the keys. So I'm always behind her in her conversation, so she always had to come back and write something again because she wrote it 3 lines before, but I'm always 2 lines behind her, and if she was younger, she would have caught on to the shit and been able to keep up with me, right? All right, let me use the bathroom. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna sip on some soup. It's almost 11 o'clock. Do you want me to call you tomorrow or you want me to call you tonight? Other than that, I got some stuff to talk with you anyway. It'd probably be better for me to call you tomorrow because I got to make some moves tomorrow. And there's something that's popping off that I want to definitely talk with you about because the dude that I'm going to be talking with is possibly what I get can help all of us. So, we're going to talk. All right. Family, I want to first off remind you, 5 minutes tonight? All right, cool. I got you. Family, I want to thank you for joining us in the home of the Congregation of the Mighty, the place where the stubborn minority gathers, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. This has been Tribal Quotes. We crushed another one. I am out. Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simba production. We strive to blow up your old paradise.